Good day, this is Blender Modeling, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial about how to model and create a texture with a sword. Not actually with the sword, but how to model a real looking sword. First of all, I'm going to use the Dragonborn sword from Skyrim. You probably know the game. I just gone to the Skyrim Wiki, click the sword, see full size, and I downloaded it and saved it. Then we go to the Blender. To bring up the panel here at the right, you press N, and then background images, add image, open up, and just find the texture image you just downloaded. I'm looking where I placed it. It must be at my C tutorial swords. Here it is. Yes, the dragon sword is called. Press 7 to go to the top view mode and 5 to make sure you're not inside. Okay, make sure you're going to use the cycles render and switch your device to GPU compute. If you got a GPU, I turn up the resolution to around about 100%, and I'm actually going to use this standard default cube you get added into the scene. I start off with scaling it down to something that fits size, something like this would be good. I press Z, S and Z to make it flat, and once it's flat I press tab to go into edit mode, and then W for subdivide smooth. I use it 3 times. Yeah, that would be good. And then I switch on the visibility so I can actually view through a material even though I'm looking from the upside and not the downside. I make sure I get rid of all these verticals, and I scale this one. Oops, should press tab again. This one a bit. Okay, it's looking good. Press B to grab these points, and then I press E to extrude them. I will always do this along the y-axis, and then I will scale it to the background image I'm using. Press E again. Okay, model it just. Yeah, make sure it's looking good for you. I won't say it has to look perfect, but you don't want to go outside of the object you're rendering, your background image I should say, because when you do so, you will get those strange looking, yeah, blackish background, and that's not what you're looking for. The blackish background is because you're falling off your texture map, the UV map we're going to create, and yeah, then there's nothing, or there's just blackness, you could say. It's a transparent map. I'm just modeling, yeah, the top of the sword right now, and as you see, I'm still hitting extrude E and then scale it up with S, and yeah, make sure I place it good. I always use tab. The tab key is for me, yeah, a serious need, because I know I just make it smaller by 1 unit or 10. I actually know what I'm doing. When you aren't using the tab key, you just resize it. You're not resizing it with in steps, I should say. Free resize, yeah, I don't like it. Top of the sword is modeled. Make sure you let the top points connect to each other. I press 3 to go into side view modes. Now, let's say it's looking good. Let's go to top view again. Make sure you get rid of the bottom half of the vertices. just like the top half, and then extrude it again along the y-axis. And let's model the other half of the sword blade. Soon after we're going to model the handle. This would be, yeah, because it's 3D. You also got to make the handle 3D, and that's, yeah, I won't say difficult, but it's something else. This is all nearly 2D or automatic 3D, and it's quite easy to make and do yourself. Once you get to the bottom half, you're, yeah, not going into trouble, but you're going to find out that it's a lot more complicated. So didn't know what to say there. As you see, I'm actually past the handle, and I'm going to make this look round with a nice torus shaped ring. Let me extrude this. Yeah, I think this will look nice. You're not you're not always looking for something that is 100% perfect to the image or to your liking. It's just what's sufficient. You gotta find somewhere in between. I know that if I do it this way, it will be fine, and I can do it more precise, but I I know it's quite a lot of job, got a lot to do then, and it isn't worth it. Okay, there we go. As you see, you've got a handle here, so we're going to make it actually something you can grab. It's not as thin as the blade itself, so we're going to grab, using the B, all these points, press S to scale them, and then Z to scale only along the Z axis, to make it not so thin as it is right now. I think this is looking fine. Maybe, nah, this will do it, I think. Let's go into solid view mode, turn on smooth. Nah, it's too much already. Going to do that again. Can scale this one. I think something like this would be nice. And the sword itself is actually quite thick, you know. It's not that thick in my image. This will be good. Then you see here those two handles to protect your hands if you're using the sword to fight with. We're going to grab the last three, I call it. This one here at the point is not actually one, there are more inside, but call it three. We're going to extrude this as well, and then along the x-axis. Yeah, make sure it fits your image. Something like this would be nice. Okay, we're going to grab the same three here, extrude it, make it somewhat smaller. You can choose to make it 100% same, but there's no need for that. Okay, scale it up a bit, extrude it again, scale it up, and put it somewhere around there. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, it's doing nice. Fine, I should say. Then we're going to Shift C because I moved out of the center. Shift A, add a torus, a ring, and place it at the bottom. Resize it down, scale it down, and place it over the torus in your background mapping, and make sure it fits into the sword. Let's look at it from the left side, from the front and above. Yeah, it's looking good already. Now, when you hit the insert key on your numlock keyboard and go to the render mode, you see it's, yeah, pointy. It's sharp looking, it's not really round like metal should be, and it's way too dark. So first of all we're going to change the lamp into a sun. Yeah, the size is good. And we're going to add a plane to the scene, so that we get a table or something our sword is lying on. We're going to add a new material, and I really like the glossy look of things, roughness of 1, and I know that a bluish or a reddish background is always doing fine, so I'm going to choose for a lightly bluish color. Going to render mode again. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm now looking from the left side of the object, and going to my plane. You see my sword is actually lying in the plane and not above it. So first of all we're going to place the sword a little bit above the plane. Yeah, something like this will do it. What do we think? Will it go with his point towards the plane or his back? I think that the front will be more heavy, so I'm going to turn it over a bit. Let's say, ooh, how many degrees we would use here? Think rotation 0.4 will do it. And we're going to place it down on the surface again. Yes, this is looking good. Exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to drag it into the camera point, viewpoint, turn on smooth, smooth shading, and we're going to add a modifier to this. I'm using the subdivision surface. Turn it up. I think 2 will do it actually for you. It's in the display. Going to do a job right here. Yeah, it's looking good. You can increase the subdivisions, but it will take a lot of time to render the scene then. And I'm going to apply it. Then we're going to add a new material to it, and I'm going to use a image texture, and I am here selecting the sword. We just downloaded the dragon sword, and now we're going to place the texture on it because we just got the mesh of a new modeled dragonborn sword. Press tab, make sure you got everything selected by using the A. Press 7 to make sure you're in the top view mode, very important now. And press U to UV mapping, and use the project from view bounds. This will turn the scene you're actually looking at, like this, into a UV map that you can place on your texture. And then we're going to get it into our second screen and get the new dragon sword also as background here. You see the image right through. It's looking good, but it's not going well. If I'm going to rendered mode here now, then you see it's blackish around and not really what you're looking for. And if I move it around here, you see that the texture is also moving around on my mesh. It's actually what I'm looking for, but I just got to place it right. So that's what we're going to do first. I'm going to press S and X to scale only along the X-axis, and then I'm going to, yeah, something like this will do it actually. And then you see it's down to the bottom, but not quite to the top. My sword is actually stopping here, and here it's stopping as the mesh. So we're going to rescale also along the y-axis. As Y I hit, and then I'm going to scale down just slightly, and then I'm also going to place it down just a little bit. So I'm going to use G, Y, and then drag it down just, I don't know, a couple of inches there. Look at the top again. Yes, this is looking nice. And as you see, my render is also going with it. If you've got a slow computer, you should just disable the render. Look at it from a solid or a textured mode, and there you see it's coming. This won't take that much of your GPU. And yeah, let's give it a render, pre-render I should say. This is actually the result you're quite looking for. I'm going to adjust my sun, making it size 1. It won't do that much, but okay, it will do. And the cube, the material, is now a diffuse, so it only takes light from the sun. And I also wanted to emit light because it's looking nice, vibrant and colorful then. So I'm going to switch on the emission, the surface, and the strength. Yeah, you can play with it. You can make it 0.5 if you want, but I like the nice vibrant shine from it, you know. So I'm going to get it into 1. Then make sure you get your good rendering presets and resolution you want. Make sure you turn on your GPU, and you're done modeling. You can just create the image now. Exactly what you're looking for, you got. Yeah, that will work for you. So this is the tutorial we just done. We just modeled a nice looking sword from Skyrim into a 3D mesh. As you see, we can turn around it, we can do everything with it, and we just set it into a nice scene. So yeah, that you're looking at it from a nice angle, and you see a sword lying on the table, reflecting background. It looks nice. By the way, if you want to play with the samples, you can do it on the sampling, and you can change the amount of renders your computer makes, and it will only increase the quality of your image. So this was the tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I will see you back again in my next tutorial.